Hi, I'm Carl Azus with your March 25th edition of CNN 10. Welcome to the show. A major investigation has ended within the U.S. government. It was called the Russia investigation, the Special Counsel investigation, or the Mueller investigation, because it was led by Robert Mueller, a former director of the FBI who was put in charge of it 22 months ago. His team looked into alleged Russian interference with the 2016 U.S. presidential election, and part of that was examining whether Donald Trump's campaign illegally coordinated with Russia. Mueller sent his full report to the Justice Department on Friday night, and that department sent a 4-page summary of it to Congress on Sunday afternoon. It said that while Russia did try to influence the 2016 election, something Russia has repeatedly denied, the U.S. Special Counsel's investigation, quote, did not find that the Trump campaign or anyone associated with it conspired or coordinated with Russia in its efforts to influence the election. Another part of the investigation looked into concerns about possible obstruction of justice. Did President Trump's actions intentionally and illegally interfere with the government carrying out its work? The special counsel says, quote, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. The Justice Department says the Mueller report left it up to the U.S. Attorney General to decide whether the president's conduct constituted a crime, and the U.S. Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General both concluded that the report's evidence is, quote, not sufficient to establish that the president committed an obstruction of justice offense. The White House called the report a total and complete exoneration, a clearance of any wrongdoing for President Trump. But some Democrats say Special Counsel Mueller did not exonerate the president, and that the Justice Department's summary isn't enough. They want to see the full report in the days ahead. Another issue President Trump has been addressing concerns the ISIS terrorist group. We've talked about this a lot since ISIS swept to power in 2014. Its name and its mission were the same. ISIS stands for Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, something the group wanted. And it once controlled a huge area of land in the region with a population of almost 8 million people. Not anymore. On Saturday, the Syrian Democratic Forces, a military group supported by the United States, said ISIS had been defeated in its last physical stronghold in Syria. In a formal ceremony to mark the terrorist group's defeat, the SDF paid tribute to the thousands of forces and fighters it lost in the battle, but it said it would continue to fight against any ISIS members who continued to operate and threaten the region.
In 2014, ISIS had a presence from the outskirts of Baghdad to Aleppo in western Syria at a time when it seemed that they were unstoppable, sending the armies of Iraq and other in parts of Syria militias running before them. Now they have disappeared as a territorial entity. They are no more. So this is a massive sort of turn of events when you consider the situation just a few years ago. But I think that enthusiasm, even in this part of the world, of the region, has been tempered by the realization that they still remain a threat as a terrorist insurgency. There are still frequent attacks by ISIS sleeper cells in this part of Syria and also in many parts of Iraq as well. And of course, another problem is that if the regional government here or the government in Iraq don't do a better job at reconstruction, at reviving the local economies, you could have a situation developing whereby discontent feeds into the ideology of ISIS, and you could have ISIS come back perhaps under a different name in a different form. But it's not just a question of defeating an organization like that militarily. They have to be defeated ideologically and politically, and it's not altogether clear if that can be achieved under the current circumstances.
10-second trivia. Which of these world capitals is located closest to the equator? Lima, Peru, Brasilia, Brazil, Khartoum, Sudan, or Hanoi, Vietnam? At 12 degrees south latitude, Lima is the closest city on this list to the equator. One series we love to run on our show is CNN Heroes. Everyday people from all over the world, including Peru, whose work is helping their communities. Nominations are open for the 2019 CNN Heroes. You can tell the company about someone you know at cnnheroes.com. Meantime, please have a look at how the impact of some of last year's nominees has continued to grow.
Every year, the world gathers to honor the top 10 CNN heroes for their work helping others.
This is an amazing event with some amazing people, so we're just glad to be here.
2018 was no exception.
Welcome to CNN Heroes, an all-star tribute.
From Nevada to Nigeria to Kansas City, Missouri, these everyday heroes joined forces in New York City and experienced a star-studded night of a lifetime.
We are here tonight because people believe in us.
Receiving a cash prize and recognition that can be a game changer for their work.
I am energized. We've been working on some of this stuff for 14 years, like really thinking about violence and trauma and healing. But being at the Heroes event, it's like, wow, we get to share this stuff with a larger stage and this larger platform.
All right, let her rip.
Luke Mickelson builds free bunk beds for needy kids. The global exposure helped his organization grow significantly.
Just since January 1st, we've built and delivered 1,100 bunk beds. We've trained 14 new chapters. We're averaging about 15 every other month. We've partnered up with FEMA and the Red Cross, and now are offering these much needed services and beds to families that have been affected by disasters across the country. We've learned that there's just that many more kids that are struggling and families that are struggling. The race is on to try to get out to them as quick as we can.
Coder Abisoye Ajay Akinfolarin runs a foundation that provides free tech training to girls and young women in Nigeria. She's been able to help more students.
So many great opportunities have been knocking on our doors. Normally we look for partners, now partners are looking for us. Girls are getting scholarships, I have speaking engagements. We visited the vice president. We are looking at that from a national level now and how we can spread across every part of Nigeria.
This is my website.
Before CNN Heroes, we were able to train 400 girls in 3 years. But with the platform we've been given, we're going to 5,000 in 1 year.
And with the spotlight came an unintended effect.
People recognize me everywhere. Even when I change my look, people still recognize me.
Sometimes I go to a restaurant and they start clapping. They say, good job. Huh?
You know, people recognize Tom more than they recognize me. We were going through an airport and somebody walked up and they said, "Is that the dog from the CNN show?"
And after finishing the nonprofit training in Los Angeles, provided for free by the Annenberg Foundation's Alchemy program, a part of their Heroes Prize, the 2018 Top 10 CNN Heroes are ready and energized to do even more to help others.
We're everyday people, ordinary people, but with big, big hearts wanting to just make a difference.
It's a lot of weight in our shoulders, but we know that for sure we can do it, and we can make a big change in our world.
Chances are this guy's abs are stronger than yours. In fact, I don't know anyone who can hold a plank for 38 minutes. That's how long Andy Steinfeld reportedly stayed in the exercise. And the community center where he did it says it's a world record for his age group. The extreme senior athlete from Minnesota is 71 years old. He just finished radiation treatment for a type of cancer, and he says he did this to motivate other people. Seems that much time would make you bored of a plank. It's hard to imagine the support you'd need to stay propped in such a hardcore exercise that seems to last abdomen all day long. Some would rather walk the plank than plank down the time to break the plank record, but if you've got the strength, it all comes down to isometrics. I'm Carl Azus for CNN.